It's Friday! Hey Stampers, I'm Meg from LovenStamps, and this is another Maker Morning with Meg video. So if you've watched any of my videos, you will know that I am a huge fan of coordinating projects that Stampin' Up! Puts together, and an even huger fan of things that just make it really easy to put cards together and to come up with a really great finished looking project, whatever you want to call it. So I'm highlighting 4 things this morning because I promised that I would show you some retiring list things today, some last chance list from the January through June book. And so we are highlighting 4 things that are half price today. So first one is the Memories and More cards and envelopes. And I've shown some things with these already over the past couple of months. I really love them, and they are 20 cards and the matching envelopes for $5. Then we have the little ladybugs. So these are the, I can't turn them sideways for you. Ladybug trinkets, and they are also half price for like $3.75 or something. And the Mossy Meadow braided trim, also half price, so $3.50. And then the Memories and More pack. And I'm going to show you these kind of when we flip our camera down, but here is sort of a preview of them. So let's see. Our stamp set is Dragonfly Garden and the Dragonfly Punch, and all the supplies are linked in the video description here, so you can kind of check those out. So, morning guys. Hey Melinda and Tanya and Trish and Sue and everybody. Glad you guys are here this morning. All right, should we get stamping? I want to show you these cards because when I first look at them, I basically see like 2 different card sizes. I see a 4x6 card and I see these 3x4 cards, and they are like rectangles, and I have a really hard time thinking outside the box with them. So this morning we're going to take a little time to deconstruct those pieces and turn them into lots of things, which will really make these flexible and really kind of go from just a plain kind of rectangle card to a card with lots of different possibilities. So basically we're gonna, instead of looking at these as like little 3x4 cards, we're gonna look at them as little 3x4 pieces of designer series paper with endless possibilities, okay? Because you get a lot of choices with these and some extra perks. So let's get you guys flipped here. Hey, Deborah and Teresa. Tanya says she just got her order and she has some of these. Yeah, they're hard to resist at that, right? I mean, it makes them, what, 5 for 20, what? Okay, somebody else do the math. However much it ends up being for a set of cards, what, 50 cents or something? Anyway, check my math. I'm not that great on the fly with that. Okay, so here we have you guys. And like I said, I like to think of these as little pieces of designer series paper. So they come in a pack like this. They're all vacuum packed together. Inside are these 3x4s, which I've shown you, and they consist of a bunch of patterns. Some of them have greetings, some of them are horizontal, some of them are vertical, lots of choices. Then there are these 4x6 cards, and these all fit wonderfully in the album. If you like to do Memories and More albums, they have the pockets and you can slide your pictures in. They're perfectly sized for things. They have great scrapbooking greetings for quick memory books too, weekend getaway. I do really like these. But again, these are just larger pieces of designer series paper with lots of possibilities. So I'm gonna flip these to the back. You can see the other patterns. And then also tucked in here are 4 pages of these cardstock weight stickers. So they are cardstock weighted, they're die cut, and they are self-adhesive, aka stickers. So you can use these for different things, including all these greetings. Now, there are greetings in our stamp set, but we also have access to all of the greetings that are included here with our Memories and More pack, which means all of these stickers or die cuts, plus all of the ones that are on our cards. So we're going to talk about using those also. Okay, so all right, ready to see some cards? Let's go ahead and get started. These are a really quick project. They're a great thing to take when you travel. A good thing because they don't take a lot of supplies, and really you're just mixing and matching. And like I said, we're going to add in some embellishments there with our string and our ladybugs. Okay, so first card, let's see here. I'm gonna use this bee paper, AKA this card, and I am going to trim this. And so one of the first things, I could just put this on here like this and layer it and so forth. But if you wanna get away from that sort of Memories and More, just rectangle look, a really quick way to do that is to chop your paper up and use it like designer series paper strips. So I'm gonna chop this into 4 I guess, 1-inch sections, but I kind of prefer to use 3 for this. So I'd set this aside for something else. And then these are going to layer here on our card like so. All right, so already we've kind of changed up our look. I'm going to emphasize the bottom one with a piece of the Mossy Meadow. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this around and tie it. And then I'm actually going to give you a hint for fixing the fact that this has nothing to do with being tight, okay? So I'm going to trim the ends. And you might know this trick if you've seen some of my videos before. I'm actually just going to split it in the back, okay? So I just tied my knot. And now I'm going to take these ends and I'm going to wrap them around to the back, and I think I'm just gonna put a piece of Seal Plus in here, and I'm gonna press those ends into the adhesive and tighten it. So you can see that overlap there. That's how much slack I took out of the extra string, and now we have a really nice tight element. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so let's pop some dimensionals on the back of these, and I can avoid that just a little bit. If you put your dimensional right on the Mossy Meadow twine, it has a tendency to want to rock. So I'm going to stay a little bit away from that, just as a hint. And then I'm going to pop these on. All right, so next we need a greeting. So I flipped through the greetings in the stamp set are fun. The greetings in the cards are great. I decided that I wanted to use, let's see, I better put this middle one on first. I decided that I wanted to use a greeting that would bring out the Mossy Meadow color in here. So we have blue and yellow, but we also have this Mossy Meadow. So I grabbed this one from the stack of Stack O cards, and we're gonna use just this smile greeting. So again, bringing in my trimmer. Good afternoon in the UK, Jenny. It's a little panic-inducing to think about afternoon. I have kind of a lot going on today, so I'm thinking like if it were afternoon here, I would be in trouble. So I hope it's been a good day. It's kind of fun to catch up with our stamping friends from all over the globe. So, all right, so I'm trimming away these. And if you're watching in like the UK or Australia or in Europe someplace, I apologize because sometimes the things that I say are on sale are not the same in different Stampin' Up! Markets. So you kind of have to check your own store. But primarily I'm talking about North America. So at least as far as the sale list that I'm discussing. So, all right. Okay, Sue said, is a rectangle die to fit the smile? Oh, you know, I honestly haven't checked, but you could definitely, looks like actually pretty close. You could use the rectangle trick to make one for certain though. So the layering rectangle dies, they're not popping up right this second, but you could use them to add the extra things on the side. If you guys didn't see that video on making custom rectangle die sizes, let me know and I can forward it to you, but you could totally do that. So yeah, depending on like the level of your quick cards and how fast you want to move with these, you could definitely, you know, add some die cutting to these elements. You could die cut anything from the cards. That's a great idea. Okay, so I am going to pop this on here. So now we have a real simple card, and honestly, you could leave it just like this and go ahead and finish it, but we're gonna add some extra embellishment fun things, especially because we have this stamp set here and we want to incorporate our dragonflies. So I have a bit of basic white cardstock, and so the only cardstock that I'm using for our projects today is just what is in the Memories and More card pack and some basic white. Okay, so really, and of course the cards and envelopes themselves. But really this doesn't require a lot of different colors or different things. A lot of it is just easy to source in what you've got. Okay, so I'm going to grab our stamp, and I think I need to clean this off. Just do a quick twist here on my chamois. And I'm gonna ink this up in Bumblebee. Go ahead and pop this on here. And then to match this image are these little fuzz elements to do the background. Now they are not exactly sized, so they're kind of like a loose silhouette. And thanks for your comment, Tanya, and the reminder. I'll remember to forward you that thing on the rectangle dies when we get done here. So these are a loose silhouette. So if you hate when things don't line up perfectly, then don't fill them in now, okay? So I'm not going to. So I'm gonna go ahead and punch this with the Dragonfly punch, and I put the video description supply list in, so you can scroll down for that. And so now I'm gonna take this, I want it to be a little bit lighter, so I'm gonna stamp off once, and I'm gonna stamp on our butterfly, and there we go. Okay, so there we have our stamped and filled in butterfly. Now, I was kind of joking before. You could certainly do this with a, before you punch it. And in fact, I just realized I stamped the wrong color butterfly, so I'm gonna do that now. So we'll get this clean again, and I'm gonna bring in Misty Moonlight this time and stamp Misty Moonlight. And here you'll see what I mean about this not quite matching up. So I'm gonna stamp off again, and then stamp off on this side. There you go. And you can see that there's a little speckle kind of outside the line there. It's really not bad. It's not bothersome, and you can use it. Let me grab this card here. This is one of the make and take projects from Stampin' Up's demonstrator training conference last, gosh, when did this happen? In the winter? November. And so you can see here we used it, that shadow underneath the dragonfly. You kind of see that there. So it's a really pretty and useful stamp for lots of things, not necessarily just filling in. And I stamped it a little too far up from the bottom, so I'm gonna pop that off of there and then line it up and punch it, and we'll come back to that Bumblebee one that we made because I like it also. All right, so back to this card. We're going to use our butterfly. We're gonna pop him on here, and I'm just gonna overlap just a tip of this greeting so that rather than having like discrete elements where they're like, you know, things lined up, they overlap to kind of combine and sort of build strength together, I guess, visual strength, okay? All right, so I'm gonna pop that over the edge. Now, I want to have just a little bit more connection between the front and the background here. So I'm going to take these little strips here that we trimmed off of our smile, and I'm going to punch them and get some little mossy meadow dragonflies here to go with our card, okay? So now these guys, I think we'll pop maybe one down here to kind of continue the idea, and then these guys up here. And they are just a little bit hard to see on the paper, which is totally fine. I want sort of the suggestion of them rather than like crazy number of extra elements. So that works perfectly. Okay. All right, and then finally for this card, we're going to add one of our cute little ladybug trinkets. I'm gonna miss these guys. And I really think the easiest way to attach these is to use a mini glue dot. So these are in the video description too if you don't have them. Don't pick the glue off the roll, just press your ladybug on it and then slide it to the side, and you'll be able to get that off with no problem. And I'm gonna pop this here under our smile, okay? All right, so then to add to that, you get the fabulous envelope printed on both sides to go with your card, and you have a really great card that really took a lot from the Memories and More cards, but isn't like you just took a Memories and More card and slapped it on a card. So it gives you a little bit more variety and a little bit more chance to sort of mix and match pieces. All right, you guys wanna see another one? These are pretty quick. They're an awful lot of fun. All right, so the next one, let's see, I don't think I can keep this one on here. The next one, we're gonna use again, one of our cards, and these come 20 to a package, so you got a lot to, get a lot to play with. And we are going to switch, we're gonna use our yellow this time. So I was flipping through these cards and lots of different possibilities. I came across this one, which I thought was a really nice match for our card here. So, but I wanted to make it a little bit more connected to the yellow of the background to just give it a little more like solid. You could do something like this with a darker color, but I actually really liked this yellow stripe here. Now, instead of using a ton of this yellow stripe, I'm gonna pull my trimmer in again. It's my best friend for these cards. And I'm going to just cut a narrow strip from the edge. So this is like a lot of yellow striped designer series paper, Bumblebee striped designer series paper, if you're using it just a small amount at a time. So I'm gonna pop this on first because I want it to be sort of our back layer, and then we're going to put our the rest of our card on next. So this is gonna go here, and I'm just lining it up against the edge of the card. And then this one is going to get some dimensional treatment. I love adding the extra layers to give that extra visual punch. That shadow line is really what you get around the edge when you add the dimensionals. You can kind of appreciate that, I think, even in the video. That shadow line really helps to set them apart. Okay, and then we have our dragonfly that is going to kind of pop up here at the corner. All right. Now, to add to this, I think we need some more tiny butterflies, don't you guys? So I have a card here that I already punched some from the bottom that I used for a different project. So I'm going to pop this off. You could have saved that blessed, I maybe should have, but I got carried away with my trimmer. And so I'm going to go ahead and punch us some dragonflies here with our punch there. Okay, so now we have 3 more butterflies, or I keep calling butterflies, dragonflies to pop on like this. And let's see, I'm gonna keep those off to the side. I think we need a greeting. So now I'm gonna come back to our greetings here, and you get 2 pages. Let's see, I used celebrate on the one that I already finished to this. Everybody needs birthday cards, right? So let's go with happy birthday on this one. And then I'm just gonna take this and pop this on here, happy birthday, and then put a dimensional on the back of our largest dragonfly, kind of overlapping the edge. And then these guys just go on with green lead glue. We need a ladybug, which is gonna fit right here. And through the magic of television, I have this card done to show you, okay? So now we have 2 great cards that really make the most of these ideas, the cards and memories and more cards. I know that sometimes they don't look super exciting in the catalog, and I have been absolutely guilty of passing them over, but these really are an amazing set of supplies that give you an endless number of possibilities to mix and match and put things together to make some really terrific projects. So I could definitely see, these, you could make a set of 5 of them, wrap them up with some of the extra mossy meadow, make a little belly band or something for them, and then make them a gift package. They would be terrific to do as like a hostess gift or summer thing or whatever. So, okay, should we make another one? Why not? All right, I have another card here. And I'm going to grab the envelope for it. And let's see. Okay, so this one's reality crafting. I don't have this one designed ahead of time, so trying to figure out which one to use. Let's go with the blue, and let's use this greeting. Okay, at least I pulled those ahead of time, but I don't have the card made, so we'll actually have to do it together. I could put this in again, the stripiness. Let's go ahead and take this one and let's fussy cut this greeting. So there is plenty of area around the edge of this to make it really easy to fussy cut. Remember, when you're fussy cutting, your scissors actually never like move left and right, except when you get stuck. Your scissors never move left and right. It's your other hand that is moving the paper around. So, all right, I'm doing a sort of sketchy job here, but anyway. So I'm just turning the paper with my left hand and cutting with my right. Sorry, I can't do this upside down for you, but you get the idea. And what that does is it means you have a nice smooth edge cut so that you're not getting like weird divots and stuff like that. So, all right, so now we have this. I feel like we need to bring in another color here for sure. I wonder if we can bring in some green from one of these cards. That one goes sideways, so that one doesn't help us. So remember to look at the fronts and the backs. I could bring in some of that. That's a little busy. I wish there was a green stripe. That one's so perfect. All right, let's flip them over and look at the back. Purple could work too. Oh, there, that works. Is that the same pattern? Close. Okay, let's just keep looking just in case. Trying to look at comments to see if you guys saw something that you loved. All right, I think we're gonna do it. We're gonna go with this green here. Okay, so we could do the same trick and we could do this on the side, or we could do something a little different. We could combine the two. We could have like some stripes. Oh, I kind of like that idea. Let's make some strips out of this. And let's see, I'm gonna do narrow-ish strips. We can always cut them narrower if we want. 1, 2, 3s are good numbers. Okay, let's do 3 here and see what we think. What if we do this and pop this on? Okay, now this is like kind of a personal thing. If you're a person who likes things to be perfectly lined up, then you will be happy here because I think I'm gonna line these up. If you don't like things to be lined up, you could of course skew these. Ooh, maybe I'll skew them. Okay, sorry if you're the lined up person. All right, or I'll just move them across the table. Let's see, how else could we change this up a little bit? We could put it in the center instead of at the bottom corner. What do we think of that? And then do our greens kind of scattered left and right. Yeah, that's pretty good too, actually. I think I want this to still show there. Oh, I kind of like that. All right, so let's see, we're gonna do this. So I'm gonna glue these pieces down, and I think I'm going to just pop some glue on here, and this way they're gonna stay exactly where I have them. If I just pop this on like that, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna give those a chance to grab, and I'm gonna come in with a dragonfly. So what color dragonfly do you guys think for this? We could go with the Misty Moonlight. We could go with Bumblebee. We could go with the green. I think I'm kind of partial to green. So let's go with Mossy Meadow. So I'm gonna clean this up just a little. Probably not a huge deal because Mossy Meadow is so dark it can really absorb a lot of insults from other ink pads. And I need a piece of basic white again. So I'm gonna ink this up. Make sure I get a good ink on there. And the other thing is if you push too hard on your inking or your stamping, then you're gonna punch that off anyway, so not to worry. And then I like this really nice light green here for our background. You could mix and match colors too. You wouldn't have to stick with just one. I don't know, do I like this green with it? I think it's okay. And I think this guy's gonna fit right down here on our card. So let's see, these guys are pretty dry. I'm gonna flip them over. Okay, they moved a little. But let's go ahead and pop some dimensionals on the back of them so that we can get them stuck on our blue element. And you guys have little dimensional backings all over your house, in your purses, on your clothing. We find them all the time here. And I think I'm gonna move it up just a little bit so that I kind of play that rule of thirds. So it's gonna be on the top third rather than right in the center because our dragonfly is gonna balance towards the bottom. So that gives us a little bit more balance top to bottom. So this guy is on the bottom third, this guy is on the top third. So if you ever look at something and you think, it's just not quite right, try thinking in thirds. Divide your space up visually and try moving stuff around to kind of see if that helps you. So All right, do we want to pop this up? Yes, yes we do. Now, when you put the ladybugs on, I wanted to make sure I talked about this morning. When you put those ladybugs on there, you are setting your envelope up to get totally smushed by the postal service through their postal machines. So there's a super easy solution. First of all, you're gonna want to add that upcharge stamp, which is like 10 or 11 cents, I think. And you can get a whole sheet of them from the post office. Just say you want that extra ounce stamp. It's the same for having something bumpy, same price. And then you can just pop those on your envelopes when you do them. The other thing that I do is I often take an extra piece of paper from the back of a designer series paper pack. So when I go through, like this was the peach one, finish a pack, there's this tag board at the end. This is a really nice weight. And this I cut to match the front of my card, and then I pop it in the envelope along with the card. And that protects the front of the envelope from getting smashed in with that little cute guy. And the postal service is fine with it as long as you had that little upcharge stamp. So, all right, I feel like this guy needs on here, but I feel like we have like a competition between the dragonfly and the ladybug. So I think I'm gonna have to add some more dragonflies to sort of balance it. And let's see, should we go with some more green ones? Let's add some more green ones. Tanya says she likes the green, but she doesn't know she has Mossy Meadow. Well, good time to get it. Mossy Meadow is a great green neutral. Evening Evergreen is the new one that goes with the new in colors that just came out, but they're pretty different. Mossy Meadow is very well, it's very yellowy, and this is Evening Evergreen, and you can see the difference between the two of them. This is Mossy Meadow and this is Evening Evergreen, totally different. This is very blue gray, and this one is much more yellowy. So those two colors are pretty different, even though at first glance it's like, yeah, Meg, it's dark green. What more could you be talking about? All right, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna add these little dragonflies on. So once you find a trick or a look that you like, feel free to repeat it, right? Usually you're not sending the same card over and over again to the same person. So you can repeat a trick without, worrying that you're doing too much. So we could leave off the ladybug, which I'm tempted to do, but I really like that little bit of brass look. Let's see, should we put it in a different spot? No, oh, he could be down there. No, I kind of like him here because he really shows well. So I think I'm gonna do that. All right, so we need to bring our glue dots back in here. Trish said, this is another month you need to, yes, sorry, I know. But you know what? All of these things are half price. So that is a great chance to be adding to your collection and giving yourself lots of possibilities. So, and you're gonna use it because it sure has a lot of possibilities to mix and match and get these things all put together. So I always like to get things I know I'm gonna use. So, all right, so then we can fold this, and there is our third card. Okay, I feel like you guys kind of get the idea now, right? So we have our cards. We have made for sure the most of our elements with I'm like all crooked here. Get too excited about what I'm doing. Made the most of our cards and more. So mix and match a lot of these pieces, cut different sizes, use the greetings, use the stickers, and honestly, we didn't even break into these. So you could do tons with these, and these little strips you could use to decorate the insides of your cards. You really can extend the list of possibilities by adding in the Dragonfly Garden stamp and the Dragonfly punch that coordinates. But certainly you could do a lot of these things without those, using just the pieces that are in the Memories and More parts. So lots of possibilities, certainly. And we all have a budget, right? So I love that these things are super budget friendly and give you so many different possibilities. So, All right, so that is us. Hey, I just realized I have on a bumblebee colored shirt for our, I swear I didn't plan it. So that is us for our projects this morning in our dragonfly garden. Don't forget that these things will disappear on June 30th, so you have a little bit longer to get them. Not too much though, and there is the possibility that they would sell out if because it will while supplies last. So you're kind of taking your chances if you wait too much longer on them, especially with a great price point. Lists are in the video description, and I hope you guys have a super fabulous weekend filled with lots of fun, crafty, and creative opportunities. And I will look forward to seeing you again on Monday morning for another set of Maker Morning with Meg projects. So happy stamping, guys, and enjoy your weekend.